Hello and welcome back to the shop. My kids built one of those little rock towers on the beach, and in a moment of inspiration I snagged them and we took them home. And I decided to make a nightlight out of it. You'll see me using a glue gun here, but honestly this didn't end up being necessary. Whenever you use epoxy, always spray mold release. Something important to note here is that I did not use a vacuum chamber to get all the bubbles out before doing this pour, and I did pour kind of deep, so bubbles are going to be expected in this pour, but honestly it was kind of by design. Now this is my first time using a lathe, so bear with me. And at this point, I didn't think it was going too bad. And I may have spoke too soon. So I switched out from the chuck that I was using just previously to this plate that had screws in it, which worked much better to stabilize the base. You'll see me switching out different tools throughout this turning process, and that's not because I know what I'm doing. Actually, it's precisely the opposite. Now, it's at this point that things actually started going a little more smoothly for me. I decided to put this little grooved ripple in the top to try to emulate a water drop hitting the water and sending out that little ring. Here I'm just using some super glue or CA glue to fill in the little bubble holes that remained after I got done turning. I start the sanding process at around 80 grit and move up to 4000 grit using wet sanding from grits 300 and above. After the sanding is complete, I use some automotive compound to smooth the surface, and if you want to see more on this particular detail, see my previous video. Now to create the base. Now I've got to say that compared to turning epoxy, turning wood on the lathe is so much easier. Here I'm just recessing a space where I'm going to house an LED, which is going to shine out from below through the epoxy to light up the entire lamp. Now, suffice it to say, I have literally no idea what I'm doing when it comes to LEDs. So I reached out to the guys at ledsupply.com. No, I'm not sponsored. They were just amazing, and they really helped me out through this process to understand what I was going to be doing in this project. Given my limited experience with LEDs, I was looking for something that was going to be super simple, like a plug and play, where I had to do minimal wiring. And I just want to give a big thanks to Scott Cameron at LED Supply for walking me through this process step by step. Further advice from Scott, and I quote, "I would never mount any LED in wood and epoxy because heat will build up and it will overheat eventually. People are doing what you're talking about with mid-power LEDs like the Dynasquare, but I'm telling you that it will damage an LED over time. You need some air to get to the PCB board to let heat escape." Thanks to Scott's advice, I deepened the cavity of this base and drilled a hole entirely through and mounted a metal plate inside with a hole through that to let some air get to the board as well. Clearly, I'm no master at soldering. Yes, I watched some YouTube videos to learn how to do it. I eventually made it work, but you're going to watch me fumble through this for a couple of minutes. And boom, see, so quick, you didn't even see it, done. I used epoxy to secure the top to the base. Thanks for watching.